What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the video. Today I'm answering your questions. Thank you to everybody that participated on my Facebook page. If you want to get on these in the future and have an opportunity to get your question answered, add my Facebook page, look out for the post and comment accordingly. We got some amazing questions this time around, the most questions I've ever gotten for a Q&A. So I am super excited. I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can. Sometimes I know I can ramble a little bit. I'm really gonna try to not do that this time around. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. You guys ready? You ready? Let's do it! Now, first things first, before we get started, big thank you to my girlfriend for the Gucci Man t-shirt. I felt like it would go good with my golden chain. Shout out to Luke, I'm still wearing it. Joke's on you, buddy. All right, first question comes from Roy Johnson. He says, what would be your advice for someone wanting to get into the fitness industry? My friend, it's hard to give any blanket advice that's really gonna apply to the entire industry because the industry is so diverse. There's so many different ways to get involved in the fitness industry. I was out at the Olympia Expo this past weekend, and you have people selling supplements, you have personal trainers, you have clothing brands. There's a million different ways to get involved. There's meal prep companies, even protein bars, things like that. So it's really, I guess, you find out what you're passionate about, right? My first foray into the fitness industry was with my online coaching and training programs. And after that business built up, and we moved into like supplements and things like that. So find what you're most passionate about first. Mine was helping people, writing meal plans, things like that, because I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to all that stuff. Shout out to all my clients, by the way. Thank you guys very much. But yeah, start with what your area of expertise is. Like, let's say you want to really have a clothing brand. Start there and then maybe branch out as you go. That is the key to being successful in business and to continue that growth, is to start with one thing, get really good at it. And I mean really, really good. And then you can take the money you earn from that and invest in other aspects. So thank you so much, man, for your question. Appreciate you, Roy. From Derek Kinzer, Team Dry Scoop meet and greet, question mark. I live a couple hours away, but would for sure make the drive to meet some cool dudes with similar interests as myself. And it'd be cool to check out Subzilla. They got way better products than the other stores. Keep up the vlogs, man. All right, well, first off, man, thank you for the support, and I will keep the vlogs up. I guarantee you that. And then secondly, Team Dry Scoop meet and greet. I think we're gonna do something like that around Ankram's 2-year anniversary mark for Subzilla. So be on the lookout for that. Trust me, as soon as I know, you guys will know. It's gonna be in Ohio, so I understand not a lot of people can make it. But if you're in Ohio or you're gonna be in the area, I don't know what's in Ohio, you come see. But if you are in the area, I will let all you guys know. Swing by, say hey. We're gonna do it big. I promise you guys that. Thank you so much for the question, homie. And from this name, I can't pronounce. It's in a foreign language, so I'm sorry, but you'll know it's you once I read your question. So he says, what motivated you to start your YouTube channel? Love your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. I'm gonna try to summarize this as quickly as I possibly can. But while I was working at Sprint before, which I worked for like almost 6 years, the last couple years of working there, I really got into fitness, right? And I really got into writing the meal plans and the macros and things like that. And I was helping so many people around me, locally, friends, family, whatever, making the meal plans and wasn't charging anybody anything. I had someone offer to pay me for a meal plan one time. So I did it and they got good results and I was like, okay, I could probably do this more. My first social media following I built was on Instagram, which wasn't very much at the time, maybe 10,000 followers, but I was trying to build that up. And I was getting some clients from that, but it wasn't enough for me to ever even think about quitting my old job. Then I seen a lot of these guys had YouTube channels, and I got invited one time to a gym here locally that was shooting a video, and they said, hey, show up, we're just gonna make a workout video, whatever. I showed up and it was a terrible video. We had no direction, we had no one to even edit it. So when it came time to put all the footage together, no one was willing to do it. So I went out and bought a computer and said, hey, I'll mess with it, I'll put it out. I need a new laptop anyways. I messed with it, put the video out, and from there the addiction was born. I said, you know what, not only if I start a YouTube can help more people know who I am, which in the end, if you have a business, you want as many people to know about your product as possible. And with YouTube, I'm able to help people, I'm able to put myself out there, and really it's changed my entire life. It's made me a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable, a lot better of a speaker, and all those things. And it's for sure the #1 reason why right now I'm successful is because my YouTube channel is doing so well. So that's, I guess, my motivation, man. Thank you so much for your question. All right, from Josh Freeman, he asks, on your diet and food vids, you always factor macros and stuff and watch sugar, but why are you never concerned with sodium? For instance, you're big on hot sauce, they contain almost 190 milligrams per quarter tablespoon. He basically lists a bunch of examples. So basically, is salt not a factor fitness people usually worry about? Here's my thing. If you're drinking a gallon of water a day and you're training, sodium is really not something that I even ever think about. It's not something I ever really notice. Now, if I have a day where my sodium's higher, like Chipotle or something along those lines, maybe a little bit I can notice some water retention the next day, but a lot of that science behind salt being bad for you is false. You can look up studies nowadays that show that really salt might not be as dangerous as everybody thinks it it is. If you're drinking all that water, you're flushing it out. If you're training, you're flushing it out as well right there. So I don't ever factor that in. I mean, if you look at the standard American diet, if someone's not meal prepping, the amount of sodium that's in McDonald's, Chipotle, all these other foods, they're getting way more sodium than we'll get if we decide to salt our foods or cook some pre-salted meats or what have you. So don't sweat it, man. Don't sweat it. Majoring in the minor, my friend. Thank you so much for your question. From Melanie Wilson, have you entered or will you enter any physique/fitness competitions? You know what? I told myself one day that I would, and then once I started YouTube, I told myself there was no reason for me to ever do one. But here recently, Nate has brought up something big to me where me, him, Ankrum, and Troy would all do the same competition and prep out for it at the exact same time. And for me, I think that would be the motivation that I would need to really push through with it. Because honestly, I don't need to be stage ready, shredded for my channel, although I think it might make a good series or something. I don't really need that to be successful on YouTube, but I think if I had my buddies around me and we really all put our minds to it and I could document all of our progress, it'd be amazing. So for you guys, I would do it because I just think the content would be killer. So I'm thinking early next year, maybe, I think it's in March is the show. That might be what we decide to do. So we'll see. Those guys are all gonna make me look small, but hey, gotta put your best foot forward, right? Thank you so much for your question. Logan Duckworth, would you agree to spend an entire day as a monkey and be able to swing from branch to branch, but you had to eat bananas the whole day for food? Well, no, I wouldn't. I would never eat a banana. So I guess my fantasy of being a monkey will never come true. I don't like bananas. Not at all. Thanks for your question, Logan. From Laura Pirano Golestani, you say you do 40 minutes of cardio a day, but how many minutes or hours a day are you lifting weights? That varies depending on the day and depending on the intensity of exercise, depending on if I'm lifting with somebody or not. I would say the minimum is 40 minutes, the maximum is probably an hour and a half. But those hour and a half workouts are kind of rare unless I'm working out with a group of people and we're going slower. You can get in a very sufficient workout in 40 minutes. And that's usually where I try to keep it. 40 minutes for that, 40 minutes for my cardio. I'm in and out of the gym, hour and a half. Kind of how I like to do it. Thanks for your question. From Danny Smith, how big are your arms and how long did it take you to get to 225 bench? Thank you. By the way, I've been getting in some killer workouts with the Tunnel Vision White Monster. It is my new favorite pre-workout. Well, thank you so much for the support on that, man. We're hearing nothing but good things about Tunnel Vision. By the way, if you guys want to check it out, outhustle.com, you can check out our pre-workout products. We got more stuff launching soon. Use code RGF10, save you 10% off. It's great stuff. I've taken it literally every single day since it came out. So how big are my arms? I have no idea. I've never measured them. Biceps are probably one of the weakest parts of my physique. So I've never had big arms. My genetics aren't good for big arms. I try my hardest, but they're not that big. Now, my triceps aren't too bad, so I'd be curious to see, but I have no idea, man. And as far as how long it take you to get to 225 bench, bench is something I've always kind of been decently strong at for my weight and my build. I benched a lot as a kid, so when I was a child, we had weight sets and stuff at home. Like, the only workouts I would do is bench press. I bench press like 5 days a week. I'd always be bench pressing. So I hit a 225-pound bench press in high school. Years of training that muscle and building and pushing, and that was the only workout I did forever. If I wouldn't have hit 225 soon, I would have thought something was wrong. But yeah, it's just like anything, time, consistency, keep doing it, keep adding the weight, keep ramping up, and you'll see the results. You'll get there sooner rather than later, man. Thank you so much, Danny, for your question. From Brandon Brenner, he asks, who owns Purebolics? I see you share a business space with them, ? Well, me and Purebolics' relationship started as I was a sponsored athlete and they sent me free product and I promoted for them. It was a product I was already taking, so it was a natural fit. But they approached me with a business opportunity when I wanted to launch these supplements, the pre-workouts and things like that. They approached me with a opportunity to where I could invest a chunk of money into the parent company that owns all of these different companies, such as Out Hustle and such as Purebolics, and we could kind of all put our heads together and use and leverage all of our resources to be more successful, right? Teamwork makes the dream work, and you need to surround yourself with good people. And after they treated me so well, and I love the products, and I love the consistency, I love the honesty, I love the integrity of Purebolics, I decided, you know what, these guys would not be bad to go into business with. So I made the investment along with my buddy Ankrum, you guys know him, and then Wade, you guys have seen Wade around, he's one of my business partners, and then Josh. I don't think you guys have seen Josh very often in many of these videos, but he's also in this with us as well. So we have a team of 4. We all own it now, and yeah, we're trying to do big things, man. Thank you so much for your question. From Andy Carmen Cherry, do you get recognized in public? You know what? I actually do. Maybe not as often as you would think, but more often than you'd think. I know that doesn't make any sense. Like at the most random places and times, I'll get recognized by people, but for the most part, I blend right in. I'm not that big yet. I think once I'm in the industry for maybe a few more years and more people know, because there's a lot of fitness guys that like I don't necessarily follow, right? But I know who they are. Eventually, I think I'll be one of those guys where like, hey, they might have seen a video here and there, they don't really follow me, so that'll probably ramp up. But yeah, it's still one of the craziest things in the world. The fact that people recognize, it's just something I never thought was a possibility in my life, right? And now it's something that happens often. So I don't know, it's crazy, hard to put into words, but yes, definitely does happen. Thank you so much, Angie, for your question. From Justin Dorn, jobs in the fitness industry, question mark. College degree versus no college degree. Incomes, question mark. Well, the fitness industry is one where I guess there's two different avenues. You have your self-sufficient avenue, like what I do, where I have YouTube and I run all my own stuff and I just do everything myself, right? Really with that, your income varies depending on exactly what you're getting into. Now, if you got a job in the fitness industry, I guess you get a job as like a personal trainer at a gym, which you don't really make that much money, at least for the most part. You could get a job working for a supplement company or working for someone like me, right? And then I guess your income would vary. I'm not really sure what the number of that would be, but I think the potential for income if you do your own thing is pretty unlimited. I mean, I do pretty well with everything I do now, more than I ever thought I'd make in my entire life, and it's all just through me, and the amount of money I make is in direct correlation to how hard I'm willing to work and how much time I'm willing to put into all of this stuff. So I would say if you want to do either or, do it for yourself, and if you need a college degree versus no college degree, I don't have a college degree, so I don't think a college degree is really necessary in this day and age, really, unless you have a very specialized career you're trying to go into, such as a doctor, but for the most part, you can teach yourself whatever you want to know. YouTube is a powerful tool, and I think college degrees are just another fancy way of people taking your money, in my honest and humble opinion. Thank you so much, Justin, and shout out to you, by the way, man. It's one of my 12-week clients right here, doing big things. Appreciate you, big dog. All right, final question is from Jimmy Johnson. What is your mindset to keep yourself level-headed even though you're growing in popularity? In other words, what makes you stay humble? That is a good question. That's a really good question, man. I would say my mindset is that everything I have right now could be gone tomorrow. YouTube could shut down tomorrow. Everything around me could fall apart for various reasons, right? And I understand that right now in my life, I am beyond blessed. I am extremely fortunate. I don't know who's looking out for me up there or whatever, but they treat me right, that's for sure. And even though I am growing in popularity, like I still feel like the same guy. I don't feel like I've sold my soul to anybody. I haven't signed up any deals with anybody that makes me feel like I'm compromising my integrity and not remaining who I am. And for the most part, I try to help as many people as I can. So as far as remaining level-headed, I think that it's easy to become overconfident. It's easy to let like hubris be your downfall, and I choose to never let that happen. I realize that I'm nothing special. I'm just a guy that has enough time to pull this camera out, film himself, edit it, and put it on the internet, and he tries to help people in any way that he can. That doesn't make me better than you, doesn't make me better than this guy, make me better than that guy. Although I have achieved some level of success, it's far from over. I just think ultimately it's not in anybody's best interest to get super cocky with what they do. I think remaining humble and appreciating what you have and what's been given to you is the true key to happiness and success. So I promise you guys, I will always remain humble, always. I understand that all of this is possible because of you guys. So thank you so very much. And that is gonna wrap up this Q&A. Thank you guys so very much for your questions. I appreciate it more than you know. If you like this style of video, comment below. As always, I love to read all your comments. I love your suggestions and your feedback for these videos. If you wanna see these once a month, let me know that as well. Still trying to figure out the cadence for all of this stuff. It was a crazy weekend, guys, at the Olympia. Still recovering a little bit. If anybody follows Troy on Snapchat, those were some crazy nights we had, but it was a good old time, and I'm glad I went. Thank you to everybody that stopped out. I love meeting all of you, and I will definitely be there next year. So for those of you that couldn't make it this year, hey, next year I'll be there no matter what, and the Arnold Classic. So thank you guys. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Helps me out more than you know. And as always, don't forget to smile, remain positive, and pay someone a compliment, because you never know whose day you could be making better. With that, I am out here. This has been a Remington J's production, and I will see you fine ladies and gentlemen at the next video. See you guys.